I want every American to know that I'm taking inflation very seriously, and it's my top domestic priority.
We're all concerned about the economy, the number one American problem. Republicans blaming Democrats and Democrats blaming Republicans, but nothing gets done.
Biden gave a talk this morning, blamed everybody else on inflation. He took no responsibility and has no plan.
Citing a weak economy to run against incumbents is an old D.C. tactic. The midterms are heating up, and we've heard from many leaders here on the beat, including Washington leaders, top Biden White House officials, you see there. And now we turn to one of the most influential conservative leaders in the nation, Matt Schlapp, who's out on the campaign trail in Georgia today. Schlapp is a veteran of the Bush White House, now chair of the American Conservative Union, which runs the annual CPAC conference. Matt, thanks for joining me.
Great to be back with you, Ari.
Absolutely. Let's start big picture. If you were talking to an independent or even a Biden 2020 voter, what is the argument for electing a Republican Congress now?
That the goal, I think, of, first of all, those Biden voters, whether they're Democrats or independents, was, you know, I heard it over and over again. I want to go back to some sense of normalcy. We seem to have a lot of drama in our politics. Maybe things can just kind of calm down. And unfortunately, these policies, which I think are extreme, that have come from Joe Biden, super juicing the economy, stopping all these fossil fuel projects, making it harder to use your land to raise crops or to have animals, ranchers, farmers. All these land policies, all these fossil fuel projects have made it a lot harder for people to afford to fill their gas tank, to put food on the table. They're watching inflation, which is a thief in the night, and it is almost like a tax increase on every American. So you could look at it and say, take away the donkey, take away the elephant. What's the impact on people's lives? And if you look at polls, these policies are devastating.
Yeah, and you mentioned the prices. That's hitting everybody. People are hurting. You have the GOP plan. I'll put that up when you mention inflation, because they have this Commitment to America plan. It says after all this crushing inflation, Democrats have no plan to solve it. Since we get to hear from you tonight, I guess the question is, what specifically will Republicans do? Because Mitch McConnell raised a lot of interest when he said out loud, no one's going to get to know the agenda in advance. Right. Take a look.
If Republicans take back control of Congress after the midterms, what would be your agenda?
That is a very good question, and I'll let you know when we take it back.
You're a conservative leader. Is your view that that stands and it's trust us, we'll tell you later? Or is there a specific plan to do something different than this White House on inflation?
Well, Ari, when I come on your show, I'm here as my own person who's running a conservative group. I'm not here to be an apologist for the elephant. And I would say that when Republicans don't tell people what their agenda is, it makes it look dubious that either they have one or that they're going to do something nefarious when they get in. So I applaud Rick Scott for having an agenda. You know, Republicans stubbed their toe on repealing Obamacare because they never kind of got around what an alternative would look like. So criticisms of the Republican Party
so you think McConnell
were fair.
You said Scott, and he did put more details. You think McConnell was a little off base there?
I think it's an old school way of playing politics, which is, hey, if we talk about what our proposals are, the media will immediately start attacking them, as they did Rick Scott. It is a fair concern. And so
well, Scott,
just run on the Biden policies. And
since you brought it up, Scott wanted to cut Social Security. You think at CPAC, you think that's a good idea at your conservative group?
I think, look, what I liked about Scott's policies is, don't make me regret the fact that I want to put policies out, by the way, Ari, but what I liked about Scott's policies is that that's more honest and fair with the American people. His real question, let's go back to inflation. How are you going to tame the inflation tiger? When I was a kid, we had double-digit interest rates, and Jimmy Carter's solution was to use interest rates to try to bring inflation back down. It was awfully tough on my parents when they were trying to sell their house and high mortgage interest rates. Okay, but the other side of this equation for Republicans is we want to constrain government spending. Joe Biden believes in super juice in the economy, which causes inflation. We want to restrain the government. So it's fair to say that when Republicans get into office, people like me are going to advocate for less government spending. I'll put it right out there on the table.
Yeah. Well, hey, and we're going back talking a couple policies here. I think that's useful, whether you regret it or not. As a conservative leader, I think only the voters can make you regret it, not me.
Right, that's right.
By the way,
the voters are on my side. We're looking pretty good in these polls. I'm in all these states. It's going to be a big red wave no matter what people in the media say.
You're feeling confident,
Take
all right.
it to the bank.
take it to the.
And I'm never confident in politics. I'm confident this year because the Democrats
I
don't
heard
have
your
a
confidence.
policy argument.
I'm going to give you another question, but you're out in Georgia, giving us your perspective. We've also been covering the way democracy itself is playing out here as a midterm issue, according to some. When you look at this, you do acknowledge quickly that Joe Biden won the presidential election and that sedition is wrong, correct?
Oh, Ari, can we stop? Joe Biden is in the White House. I've said over and over again, he was sworn in. He's my president. That does not belie the fact that we threw our voter ID and our election laws out the window in 2020, which has created huge concerns across this country. We should never be able to throw out laws. You just said in the previous segment, you went through all these ways in which you think that the laws were broken by Donald Trump and his associates. Why don't you hold the Democrats to account for the fact they didn't follow voter ID, they didn't follow these election laws? If we continue to pick which election laws we will follow and not follow, we will have a disaster in this country, and that's what we have. We had so much fraud the last time because they were able to bypass voter ID
You're saying
laws.
asked and answered, which implies then that you accept that he won the election, and you're talking about voter ID. And
I accept the fact that he was sworn in. I believe he is the head of our government.
Yeah, well, that's a known fact. You would sound really bananas.
But I'll ask you a question back. I want you to ask a question back.
I'll take your questions at the end when I do your show. But my question for you is,
should you be able to choose which laws you follow when it comes to the election?
You rarely do this.
Do you believe in the rule of law or don't you?
I know they teach this down at the Federalist Society training where you think you have a show and you ask the questions. But I invited you on.
I'm not a lawyer. So don't worry about that.
I invited you on to do the interview. I want to put up something else that is serious, though. That was
I'm asking you a serious question.
No, I heard your question, and when I do your show, I'll say it again. Don't make me do it over and over on TV. When I do your show, I'll take your questions.
So I guess you don't have to follow all the laws. I get it.
Let me show you something from, again, you're a big conservative leader I mentioned, and one of the things you guys run is CPAC. Here's some footage of what they call the sort of demonstration of performance art at CPAC. But this is an individual who actually was convicted. They sort of staged the jail here outside of CPAC, but this is sort of a performance art. But this individual, as you may know, was convicted in connection with the January 6th insurrection. He was found to have been trying to help attack police officers. Does this kind of thing at CPAC glorify the people who are convicted of, as I mentioned, storming the Capitol, trespassing and or sedition, which has also been now confessed to?
Yeah, the person, I believe in that shot, it's hard for me to see it because you guys didn't show me this ahead of time, but I don't think he did even go into the Capitol. So this is one of the problems we have, which is you have dozens of people, you have literally hundreds of people that after 2 years, the federal government is still going after. And then we had 2 summers of Black Lives Matter violence, 24 dead people, a dead cop. You know, the president of the United States
I mean, if you care about the officers.
Now let me talk. I know it's your show. You get to ask the questions. You got to let me answer.
Well, you're changing the subject. I'll let you finish, Matt.
We had 24 people who lost their lives during that violence. The president of the United States had to be taken into the bunker. The problem in our society today, in our politics today, the problem with our democracy, to quote the left and Liz Cheney, is that all we focus on is the fact that you guys think Trump is a bad guy, and when there's violence associated with Trump and the election, that's all you want to focus on. If you don't focus on the violence that's been adopted by the left, which happened through Antifa and Black Lives Matter with dead people and the attack on cops,
Matt,
that is the problem. You're not being honest about why isn't the DOJ going after any of those people associated with all of that violence?
I'm letting you get your point out. Everyone understands there's law enforcement throughout the country that deals with different cases. This individual, if you want more information for you and the voters and the viewers.
No, this is the DOJ.
Brandon, his name is Brandon.
Not going after
his
those,
name is Brandon.
Not going after those who
sir,
broke the law.
Matt, come on. We go back and forth. We've done it before. His name is Brandon Straka. He confessed. He confessed to being guilty. He was found to helping attack police. You're talking about things that you think are anti-police or anti-blue lives. This appears to glorify him at CPAC, and all you're telling me is apparently you stand by it, but you're concerned about other crime.
Okay. Do I get to go now? Mm-hmm. At CPAC, thousands of people come together, and we let them rent booths, and they are allowed to express themselves through the First Amendment. Brandon Strzok or anybody else who comes to CPAC has the right to express their views.
Okay.
What you always want to put me into the box of is being a censor of everybody who comes to my event. I don't hold you accountable for everything that's said at MSNBC.
Nothing censoring you. I'm getting your views on air. That's the opposite of censorship.
Good. Good. So, if you want to ask why Brandon Straka had that in his booth, have Brandon Straka on your show, and he explained that to you. I didn't go to his booth. I was unaware of this until after it happened. But let me just say this. I think what the Department of Justice, after 2 years for a 4-hour demonstration and riot at the Capitol, is abominable because they don't do the same thing to the left. And I would say this, if you want to be seen as fair and impartial, take care of the violence on the left and the right.
And you were able to make that point. One thing we can agree on is exchanging information and ideas, not censoring. So we gave you time in Matt Schlapp. I appreciate you making time. Over on time.
Let's talk about the midterms. That would be good.
We did.
I can go through these races.
People might remember we started with
good.
that. Matt Schlapp, thanks for being here. Hey, I'm Ari Melber. Thanks for watching The Beat. I wanted to let you know I'm writing a foreword to the January 6th committee's full report, which is coming out soon from HarperCollins. You can go pre-order the book right now, and it'll come to you first when the report comes out in the fall or whenever the government releases it. Just search Melber Jan 6 on Amazon or your favorite independent book site and click pre-order. You'll be the first to get both the report and my new piece on the coup conspiracy. You can also go to melberbook.com and order it there.